y'all, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the title that we're going to be reading. We're going to be reading from our new little book, Hold Me Up a Little Longer, Lord, by Marjorie Holmes. And I was praying about it and I was like, Lord, I would really love something about mothers because Mother's Day is Sunday, FYI if you didn't know. And so I was opening this little book and he said, go to the index. So I went to the index and sure enough, there was one titled Mother and Child. So that's what we're going to be reading. It's Mother and Child. So if you have this little book and you want to look it up, because it's on page 13 for me. I don't know what page it'll be for you. That is just still so crazy. If you wondered why I say that, I was told by some in the comments that they have purchased this little book. But when I give the page numbers, it's not the same for them in their book. So they have to find it based on the title. So that's why I want to give y'all time to find it. So Mother and Child. I'm looking forward to this weekend. One of my greatest pleasures is being a mother. It's also one of my hardest jobs I've ever had in my life. Just the responsibility. I have my own kids are 30 and 29 and are 31 and 29. 31 and 29, I think. And that's another problem I have. I can't remember their ages. I can remember their birth dates, but I can't remember their ages. Isn't that crazy? But they may be grown, married, have their own lives, but they are still my babies. And I still worry about them every day. I still pray for them. And it's just one of those jobs, blessings that I'm so thankful for. But it will definitely, your life is never your own again. So, all right. So let me just get started reading and see how God wants to minister to us about a mother and child. And let's just get started. Forgive me, Lord, but I think that each woman who has ever carried a child carries her cross. Her greatest treasure, yes, but also her heaviest burden. Y'all, I promise I didn't know this was what was going to be said. Her concern for it, the weight of her love for it, her worry when it's ill, her suffering when it hurts, the agony when it turns away from her or you and seems sometimes to be lost. I think of Mary carrying her blessed burden in exaltation, and even the humblest woman is exalted by carrying life. And even more because she knew that she was carrying the child of God, but also carrying the ultimate pain of him, his rejection, his final inevitable hour upon the cross. For she was surely to be nailed with him there, to bleed with him, to die with him, and when he rose again, to rise with him. To have her faith restored, to know the greatest joy of her life when she found the stone rolled away. That surely is one of the greatest messages of Easter for mothers, that as we are crucified with our children in all their pain and seeming failure, so we too are uplifted when they at last walk free. Her son triumphed as with faith. My child will triumph. Her burden was not carried in vain as with faith. Mine will not be. Wow. So beautiful. And y'all, I can't tell you how many times I have just sat and thought about Mary. And it doesn't even have to be Mother's Day or Easter or Christmas or anything like that. It'll just hit me at different times. To know what she went through. She knew she was carrying the child of God. And I think she knew his fate. I think that she knew what was going to happen. And as a mother to a son and a bonus mom to 3 other sons, I, for the life of me, cannot understand how she got through that. It had to be God. It had to be God get her through that. There is no other way she would have gotten through that. The strength that woman had, it had to come from God. And just like us mothers to our earthly children, to watch them go through some of the hardest times in their life, to see their tears, to see them go through things that we cannot fix. It is out of our control. It's so hard. And if it was not for God and our relationship with God and our trust and belief in God, there's no way we could get through what they go through on earth. You know, to see them hurt over the smallest thing or the largest thing, it doesn't matter the size of the situation or circumstance, just to see your child hurt, oh my goodness, you definitely feel that with them. You feel it. They're not alone in their pain. And I cry when they cry. I rejoice when they rejoice. When they text or call and they're so excited about something, I'm just as excited as they are. When they call or text and they're worried, I take on that worry. When they call and or text and they are just in a place of don't know what to do, I'm right there with them. There's nothing that they can go through that I don't feel. And there again, it is one of the hardest places to be, but also one of the most rewarding, because there is nothing like a mama's prayer to reach the throne of God. I truly believe that. And I think he understands that bond and that connection. Of course he does, because he created it. And I fully believe that's why in so many scriptures he likens, you know, he uses the relationship of mother and child to kind of get to us the point he's trying to make, because we as mothers can understand. And this is no shade to fathers. I mean, fathers are just as important, but right now this is Mother's Day weekend, so that's why I'm kind of focusing on the mothers. And thank God for our mothers. Thank God for our mothers. I told my mama a little while ago, it took me some time to get to this point, but in having my kids and knowing how I feel when things happen for them and when they're going through things, I told her, I said, Mama, I said, I really, really, really try not to call you or text you and worry you with things that are completely out of your control that's going on in my life. I said, because I understand how that feels. And as a mother, you take on those feelings and we feel helpless. And all we can literally do is pray, which is the best thing to do, is pray. But as mamas, you know, that's our babies and we want to fix it and make everything perfect for them. And so I know how it makes me feel. And so I do my best to take as much of that off of my mama as I can. Now, that don't mean I do that all the time, because sometimes you just need your mama. And I am blessed to still have my mama, and I cherish her. Maybe one day I will get more into mine and her relationship and why it is all the more special to me now than it once was. I've shared a little bit in it about it in a different video on my other channel. It's on a chatty car ride. But my mother and I went through a really hard time, and it really, that time apart strengthened us to the place we are now, and we appreciate each other more than we ever did or would. And that goes to show how God can take something maybe we created ourselves, maybe it was a situation that was self-inflicted, but he took that situation and he fixed it and he made it and he worked it all for our good. He's so good like that. And so I'm thankful to still have my mama. That has been made all the more real to me after hearing from y'all and over on my other channel, hearing about, you know, y'all not having your mama, how much you miss your mother. It could be years that she's been gone and you still miss her and think about her and just wish you could be with her. And honestly, hearing all of that makes me even more appreciative to still have mine. And she's in great health and she's so much fun. And I thank God for her. She's had some hard knocks in life, but she is so resilient. And I like to think that I got a lot of my strength. I know she raised me in faith in God, you know, from very young on, but it more stuck with me. And I know it's because I heard about it all my life, but as I became, a teenager, a young married woman, young married mother, that faith that she instilled in me through all of that, the trials and the things I went through during all of those times, just to even conceive, and then to have, all of that. I thank my mama for that, because it was all those seeds and those words that she planted in me. I thank her that she gave me my love of God. I would sit and listen to her pray. I learned how to pray listening to my mama. This was actually her Bible at one time, and she gave it to me many years ago, and I cherish it. And because she's got some notes that she's wrote in it, I've added to it, and one day I may end up passing this down to one of my kids. I don't know. I'm not ready yet, because I still enjoy it, and this is my shield and my sword. But all of that is because of my mama, and I love her. And then, all of that, she got all of that from her mama, which is Granny. So I hope that my children can appreciate my love of God. And I remember when they were babies, I would sit and rock them, and I didn't sing them, the lullabies and nursery songs and all that. I would always sing them old gospel hymns. And I would always, Amazing Grace was the one I would sing to Delana when she was so sick and in the hospital. And I would sing them, What a Day That Will Be. I would just sing them, How Great Thou Art. What a friend we have in Jesus. Jesus, hold my hand. That's what I would sing to my children, and I would pray for them, and I still pray for them. And I hope that when my time is gone, that they can look back and say, my mama instilled so much faith in God and me. We are so important to our children, and I tend to forget that from time to time, that just how vital and important we are, because all I know is how much they mean to me, and then I've passed all of this on to my bonus sons, with the one asking me, did you pray for me to get this raise? Have you been praying for me? Letting them know God's got you. We don't understand what's going on, but we know we can trust God, and just instilling that little bit of faith in them. They have a wonderful mother that has also instilled faith in them, taking nothing away from her. They're very blessed. But I love them as my own too, and that is a blessing. I could not imagine my children having bonus parents that didn't love them as their own. That would just be a travesty. So I hope she understands how much I love her children, just as they were my own. But I never want to take away from their own mother. That is their time, their place, their bond. But I do love them, and I do try to instill faith in them as well. And so if you have a bonus mom, that's good to you, let her know. It's important. It really is important. And I'm very fortunate that my bonus kids and their spouses let me know how much they love and appreciate me. My son and his wife always let me know how much they love me. Delana and Tyler let me know how much they love me. And that is a blessing. And I don't look at Tyler and Sarah and my bonus sons' wives as in-laws. They're my kids. They're just my kids. And I love them. And I treat them like my kids. And I hope they know just how much I love them. So I'm a very blessed mama this year. I'm a blessed mama every year. But since last Mother's Day, we have a new daughter-in-law that's in our family. And we're just so blessed. We have 5 kids all together, and all of them are married. And we have 2 wonderful grandbabies. And we are just one blended, blessed family. And I thank God for each and every one of them. They all have their spot. They all have their place. And I love and adore them. So I'm a blessed mama. And I thank God that I have the family that I have. Now I'm going to flip this a little bit. I know that there are so many women out there who are not mamas, and that's not by choice. And I want you to know how much that I hurt for you and I pray for you. And I don't understand But God has a plan, and we can trust his plan. And who knows, maybe it's just not the right time. And if you've ever lost a child, oh my goodness, I'm not even going to pretend I know what you're going through with that. My heart goes out to you, and I pray for you. And I just want you to know that you are important and you matter. And I'm thinking about you on this holiday as well. So with all of that being said, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And I truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. To all of you mamas out there, I hope you have a beautiful Mother's Day. I hope they just spoil you rotten and let you know just how much you are valued, needed, and loved. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.